There we go. Hello everyone, it's December 13th, 2016. Actually my birthday. Today I got a couple of packages. Well, I say a couple, two things in one package, which is my Xhover HD frame. Now, a lot of you know that I like to fly the HD Connex system, and I've crammed it into one of my quads, my other Xhovers. Here it is here. Couldn't even see that then, and as you can see, it's a little bit of a mess right now. This is a standard Xhover R5LX, and to fit the Connex into here, I literally had to take a hacksaw to the Connex system and cut the corners off and jam it inside, and it just about fit. So Xhover have released my favourite frame in a HD version, so it will be able to take the HD Connex system. So that's what I hope to do today. I've got this with some red bottoms, the new S versions are 2205 S, and I've got little B 30 amps on there. Now, I did use this in the UK drone show, and then I had an issue with the flight controller not wanting to restart after a crash. So I haven't used it since then, which was a week and a half ago. So I'm looking forward to actually sticking this into a frame that it will actually fit in properly now, and get down to using this more and more. Now, Connex has come out with a new mode on their HD system called H+ mode, and to actually use that mode you need to have a wider angled lens, and it's actually 1.4mm, so it's extremely wide. But the reason you need that is because it crops in onto the image when you go into H+ mode. But the image is supposed to be a lot better now when it's kind of like a mixture between high performance and high quality. It's somewhere in between. So I think that's going to be quite cool. I've got the lens, and I'm going to do that today. I've got a small race antenna and the full bifter, shall we call it. I've got that. I think I'll go for this, the small one, because it looks cooler as well. We'll put that on, and that's basically what I'm going to do today. I've actually also got, bear with me a second, race flight. This was given to me by DroneBit when I was in the UK drone show, and yeah, I've never used this before, so it'd be quite interesting to have a go with this. I think it'll be capable of using D-Shot. I think the little B30 amps that I've got can do D-Shot. I'm not sure. Again, I've not done them before, so let's have a go at doing this. So the flight controller I had in my HD quad was the Motolab Cyclone version 1.2. These are really good. I did move up to the Motolab Tempest because that's also a PDB, which is quite nice and keeps things nice and light. The only thing with the Tempest, I did have a few of them have errors with the accelerometer getting stuck or broken after a crash. So I'm not sure why this is broken. You can see that the standoffs are, let's see, you see that that's really bent there from the impact of the crash. You can see that we're all bent over this side as well. Let's take all this off. Yeah, I hit the metal pretty good in the drone show. I only had one crash with this quad, and that's what happened from it. Now, this is the only frame that I use. The only frame, all of my frames are Xhover R5LX, literally all of them. I've got about 7 or 8 now. It's the only one I use. Don't think, because I've bent the standoffs and things, that this is a bad frame. Because it's not. It's an awesome frame. It's just I've been flying this in a really harsh environment, and all I've done actually is bend the standoffs. If anything, the standoffs are the weakest point of the frame. Let's just take this off here. You can see we've got a nice little bend in there. So if anything, yeah, you could upgrade those standoffs to make this frame even more awesome. And there we have the guts of my machine. We're just not going to use this PDB or flight controller. Everything else should go straight over into the new frame. So speaking of the new frame, let's have a look. So I think there's not too many differences. I think mainly the main difference is a longer body to take the HD system. So let's compare this to the original. I think there was a camera mount. Yep, there's a 3D printed camera mount in there as well. Same standoffs as the original. I just noticed these gave me 2 top plates. That's quite cool. I've never actually broken a top plate. I've had a friend, Ben, who has broken a top plate on a Xhover, but fortunately I've never ever broke anything. I haven't even broken an arm on one yet, which wouldn't really matter anyway because I've got spares. But that's the main difference, and the Connex system, I believe, should fit in like so, and then we have the logo just peering through here, just so everybody knows you spent an absolute fortune on your HD system. You can see here on my Connex where I've cut the edges off. If this camera will focus, there we go. Yeah, you can see the edges where I've completely cut right through them and managed to squeeze it into the original Xhover. I've actually bent that, but that is still working fine. That's the power out, I guess. No, I don't think we use that actually, so maybe it shouldn't be an issue anyway. I'll just push that back in there like it doesn't really matter. It's took a few good bashes. We can see we got some bent metal here, but it's still working 100%, so I ain't got a problem with this at all. Let's see what we do. I think yeah, we'll use some double-sided tape on here to hold it in place. I think that's what I'm going to do. It should look nice, sticking through the top of there like so. Let's do that. I only had one problem where the leg had just a little bit too much carbon on it, about 0.5 millimeter, so the screw wouldn't go through all the way. And I just stuck my driver in there, wiggled it around, and we got it in. Looking good. So that's the difference between a normal R5LX here and the HD version. We can see we just got a longer body. The size is actually identical. We just have that extra length on the body for the Connex system to go in there. Check out that golden goodness. It's looking good. Okie dokie, situation update. We've now got the flight controller in, got the ESCs and motors on, of course. Not too hard to wire up, to be honest. The Raceflight FC is easy to wire up. Got my cables in here for the S-Bus. Underneath the board, if you are using S-Bus, then you will want to select the voltage for that, because otherwise you'll find that this won't be working. It does do PPM and things over this side. Again, you select the voltage and stuff if you're using that, or what's it called? Spectrum kind of stuff, DMX stuff, whatever it's called. I don't know. Never use it myself. But you can select either 5 volts or 3.3 volts, I think it is, and it's the same for the S-Bus. So make sure you solder the tabs on the underside of here. 5 volts of VCC if you want that, or 3 volts of VCC if you want 3 volts. So that's what I've done. All the motors get wired into each corner, which is pretty easy. Another thing that's a bit strange is that they've gone differently with the motor order, so it's kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4 or something like that. Yeah, that's a bit different. I've got the Connex antenna on there, the very small one. I've got it fitted down here, and I've got a buzzer just wedged in underneath here in this gap. So that's a bit of good space management there. We've got the cables ready to go in. Connex is all set on here. This can then plug in here. We get our power from our board here, and I'll just plonk that on top, plug the cables in, stick a receiver in, and we're good to go. So I haven't actually downloaded Raceflight yet, so we better get that on and see what we need to configure. Hopefully this should be pretty familiar with it looking very much like Betaflight. Let's plug in for the first time and see what's what. Okay, so that worked. And we've got our little quad there working, doing the things it should be doing.
this is all foreign to me. I need to kind of sit and process this. I've never used this before, so I can't really give you advice on it. It's my first time actually loading this and looking through it, so it's going to be a bit of trial and error at the moment. Let's see what happens. I have these very small FM 800 mini fast receivers, which are S-Bus, and work with my Futaba here, T8FG Super, using the FASST. I'm surprised this is actually quite easy to use. I need to go in and change my motor direction, so I'm going to do it through here, and I'm going to click props off lad, and then you can change things in here once it comes up, I believe. There we go. So I can reflash the ESCs and make them do different things and change all the settings in here. Now what I need to do is change motors 1 and 2 because they're spinning the wrong way, so I'm going to go to reversed on there, and I'm going to go to normal on there, and then I think I just, well, I guess I press flash. Do I press flash, or is that already just set? No, that was it. It was wrote. It says up here, writing to OK. So when I choose 1 and reversed it, it wrote it and it said OK, and then when I done 2, it wrote it and says OK up the top of here. Can't be any easier than that, really, can it? That can get old pretty quick, I guess. Well, that's it. Time for a quick test hover in here. This will either go very well or very bad. Well, everything seems to be doing what it's supposed to be doing, left, right, roll and whatever, so let's try and go up.
So with the quad now flying, all I had to do was update my Connex system, which is really easily done through the software, and then go into the camera settings, selecting HP Plus mode. Now just pay attention to how much it actually crops in on the image. And that's one of the main reasons you need the 1.4 lens. And the lens should be available from all Connex Prosight stockists in the next few weeks. And with it fitted here, you can see that I've got my normal FOV back. I can't see a total lot of difference between H Plus mode with the 1.4 lens and the standard mode here.
So where are we, John?
Where are we up to?
Where are we physically?
Birkenhead Park?
Birkenhead Park. We're in Birkenhead Park. We're going to shoot a little bit with the Connex system. Now, John's got his gear out ready, so we're going to get a couple of promo kind of shots and stuff. I've never kind of done this before, so it's interesting to see the magic that goes in it.
Interesting to see John get his gear out.
Yep. Shows your extender. So I've just I've just updated the Connex system so that I've got H Plus mode on there, so it's still running the latest, and we've got the 1.4mm lens on there as well, which is not focusing. So we'll do a couple of promo shots and then try and get this thing up in the air. I've not flew it yet, so it'll be interesting on that race base running 32 kilohertz. I think I've only got the ESCs at 8 kilohertz. I should have done 32 really, but we'll see.
After serving the world for over 30 years, the space shuttle turned its come to a final stop.
Get to the sausage. Get to the sausage now. Whoa! I caught you. I caught you, birdie. My name's Tom Smith, and this is what I do. I go around in the random car parks, and I shout, and I scream, and I put GoPros on the freaking trolleys, And I was almost going to swear then, but I held it back because I know that this is PG-13. Yeah, can I have a double sausage meal?
Double which sorry?
Sausage meal.
What drink?
Fresh orange.
Yeah, I found.
She didn't understand when I said sausage. No. This looks fancy. No, it'd be right that. Yeah. Woo! That's some high quality steel. Happy days, mate. So we hit through here and then up.
And up and then straight away.
So I travelled all the way up to St Helens to race with the rest of my Northwest FPV group, and I was planning on using the Connex system, but as you'll see here, on the first practice I went into failsafe there and then ended up crashing down and blowing a motor, which was one of my new RS2205S motors. And unfortunately I didn't take a spare with me, so I had to switch to my analog system, which wasn't a big deal because the RF environment was perfect with it being out the way in a field anyway. And at the end of the day I ended up crashing just here, bosh. And that lost me second place, and I ended up third overall in the competition, which isn't too bad. But you can see that my camera angle is pointed down now, and I just can't get the forward speed that I need. So yeah, I ended up sticking into third position, but yeah, I'm happy with that. So a few days passed and I fixed that motor and decided to head out to try H+ mode for the first time again. Every time I seem to be getting out, I seem to be breaking something and never getting round to actually flying it. So these are my first proper flights using H+ mode. Now it is quite dark. You'll see that you can see the moon icon in the top right hand corner. I've had to put it onto, I think it was medium at the time here because it was really dark. It seemed to cope well with the lighting conditions. However, you can see that the colours are washed out. For people that are asking about lag, I couldn't actually feel any lag in this system in H+ mode, so it's not really a concern. You can see I can get some of that mosaicing kind of digital noise on the image there, but don't forget in the UK I am flying here on 25 milliwatts and I'm using the very small racing antenna as well. But that glitch there was as bad as it got. Because I had that earlier failsafe in the race, I decided to move the position of that micro receiver. As you can see now, I'm definitely getting the range that I need. I'd had no single fail-safes all that day of flying. The race flight controller performed well. As I mentioned, it is on 32K, 32K. I'm using Little B30 and BL Heli S ESCs. And the only actual issue I had was that I had the rates set too low, so I couldn't really pull off some of the manoeuvres that I'm used to. Now I have flew in this location before using the H+ mode, so this is it in HP mode. You can see that it does look a little bit more blocky, although the picture itself is still really good. Unfortunately, these are at different times of the day, so you can see that I'm on an overcast day here and it's pretty dark, so things do look washed out as I mentioned, and the other one there does have to deal with the sun a lot more. But overall, I'm very happy with the system, especially the H+ mode now. Things do look a little better, and I'm not feeling any lag, and I'm kind of getting used to the digital noise that you do get when you do start to get interference. I think that's one of the major hurdles with the digital system, is we're not used to having this kind of breakup. We're used to having a constant bit of static here and there, but with the system being digital we have a good picture, and then we get these kind of blocks that appear, and it can kind of throw you off at first if you're not used to it. So it's only something you have to get used to in your own head. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video to play out now. I know it's been quite long, we're coming up to 19 minutes now, so do thank you very much for watching. Sorry for it being a bit long-winded here, but I want to try and get the point across that these digital systems are pretty cool, and I think it is going to be the future, especially in some certain environments like indoors and things. You just can't beat it with analog systems. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you very much. I will see you again soon.
After serving the world for over 30 years, the space shuttle turned has come to a final stop.
We copy your world stop, and we'll take this opportunity to congratulate
congratulate you, Atlanta.